Philippines and hello world. I'm Erica Salazar and I'm Kate Tyson and this is POM Patrol. Hi Kate. Hi Erica. Okay, let's talk about Master Tag.
Since 1949, MasterTag has served the horticulture industry, providing consumer care tags and signage to growers around the world. From the humble beginnings of founder Lou Schmidt's hardware store in Montague, Michigan, an idea and a company were born. During World War II, plastic was developed and used intensively in the war effort.
Today's military weapon becomes tomorrow's peacetime instrument. Plastics will play as large a role in peace as they do in war. Here is a plane containing hundreds of plastic parts.
After the war, the technology employed to produce gun turrets and windscreens became the basis for a new raw material for many consumer products. Lou, a creative and inspired man, developed a unique and improved plastic fishing bobber. Manufacturing them in his hardware store, he formed a new company called Master Float. With the success of Master Float came the awareness of a local grower. While using the common wooden stake of the day, he inquired of Lou's interest in creating plant identification stakes in plastic. Ever inventive, Lou went to work and created the first plastic stake tags to be used in the horticulture industry. With this, the plant care tag was born. Since that time, MasterTag has changed with, but remained committed to, serving exclusively the floral and horticulture industry with a broad range of labeling and merchandising products. This focused commitment means that MasterTag truly understands the floral labeling business.
That was the brief history of Master Tag. But then, after the successful establishment of Master Tag, like the other businesses, they've undergone with a big problem regarding the production of plant tags, which has a lot of leftovers. So why this problem occurred? It is because their supply chain management is not effective nor efficient. Let's take a look at Master Tag's supply chain management. Such problem occurred because the company expects possible crop failures and the management plan to introduce new items of seed companies. Because of that, they have decided to come up with the objectives of, first, a better solution to achieve a match of demand and supply. Second, to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of supply chain management system of Master Tag. Third, to implement a new style of producing tags that would enhance positive outcome to the company. And lastly, to formulate action based on the chosen solution for the problem. To settle their problem, they have two alternatives, which are to have a new supply chain management and to identify with a better consumer or customers. To know better about supply chain management, let's have an overview about it. Video repost.
Welcome to Supply Chain Management. Now, I know most of you have spent your childhood evenings dreaming of taking your first supply chain management course. But for those handful of you who might not know what supply chain management is, let me provide you a brief explanation. Let's take a simple product, like a bottle of water. Clean water, a plastic bottle, a plastic cap, and a label. Buying them at the store or vending machine might cost you about $1.50. How much of that do you think is profit? Nope. Wrong. Wrong again. Not likely. Water. a plastic bottle, and a label. That couldn't cost more than 50 cents. And if you buy them in bulk, how could each bottle not give you at least $1 in profit? Seriously, if you think you can make $1 per bottle, you should drop out of college right now and get into the bottled water business. You see, this right here illustrates one of the most common consumer misconceptions. Product cost is not equal to material cost. And in business, you don't have the luxury of thinking only as a consumer. You need to think like a business executive. Or better yet, an entrepreneur. So, in order to figure out where all that profit went, we need to imagine what it took for that bottle of water to get into your hands. First, you need to negotiate the purchase of the empty bottles and caps. Those bottles will be much easier to transport if they're in boxes. We'll need to shrink wrap those bottles so they don't fall out of the box. We can move a whole lot of boxes quickly if they're all put on pallets. In order to move the pallets, you'll need a forklift, which means you'll need a forklift driver. That forklift will then take the pallet and put it into a truck, which will require a truck, driver, fuel, and insurance. Also, you'll need a label for that bottle of water. Therefore, you need to design the label, print the label, and get the label shipped to the plant. Another truck, driver, more fuel, and insurance. Our water bottling plant won't be free, and neither will the energy it uses. In our bottling plant, we'll have employees and bottling machines, and let's not forget the day-to-day items like light bulbs, garbage bags, machine parts, janitorial supplies, toilet paper, and anything else that will be used at the plant by the employees. Oh yeah, and we'll also need access to the drinking water. Machines will then purify the water. Other machines will bottle the water and affix the labels to the bottles. And still, another set of machines will box, shrink wrap, and then palletize the bottles. In order to move those pallets, again, you'll need a forklift, which means we'll need another forklift driver. That forklift will then take the pallets and put them into trucks headed to the distribution centers. And, as we've seen, those trucks will require drivers, fuel, and insurance. Those distribution centers will also require employees, forklifts, and energy. From the distribution center, they'll head out to retail stores on still another truck, which will require a driver, fuel, and insurance. That store will need employees to unload the truck, stock the bottles of water on the shelf or refrigerator. If you have a refrigerator, you'll of course need energy. If we want to secure our stock, we may get a security guard or a security system. And of course, the store will likely get insurance. Also, imagine the costs associated with returning and replacing bottles that are damaged. Oh, and for some reason, even bottles of water sometimes have 1-800 numbers, which means you'll need a staffed call center to answer the customer's questions about your bottle of water. Wow! All those materials, boxes, people, machines, buildings, energy, fuel, and vehicles, they cost money. Those things weren't free, and they probably weren't used efficiently, and it's likely that several bottles didn't survive the journey to the consumer. Oh, and by the way, the employees at the water company, you know, the ones that work in finance, accounting, marketing, human resources, and IT, they want a paycheck too. So, through that simple example of a super simple product, we're beginning to see that companies face challenges when they buy things, make things, move things, sell things, and service things, which includes repair and maintenance. Oh, and let's not forget, companies need to do all of these things using sustainable materials, energy, and methods. Guess whose job it is to make sure that all these things happen flawlessly, with minimal effort, and of course at minimal cost? You guessed it, supply chain managers. The supply chain manager needs to be able to do all of these things. They need to give the customer the product they want, when they want it, as often as they want it, for a reasonable price, while still managing to make a profit. This requires world-class skills and knowledge in the study of supply chain management. There's that scary term again, supply chain management. Let me try to make it friendlier by shuffling around the words. There you go. The management of the chain of supplies. For some reason, that just seems a whole
consider the importance of supply chain management system, which involves the coordinating and integrating flows both within and among the companies. It is said that the ultimate goal of any effective supply chain management system is to reduce inventory, which is the problem in this case. We therefore conclude that based on the alternative courses of action, we think that the best alternative course is to set a new supply chain management system by making a fairly large batch which would be produced and shipped directly to the growers instead of the seed companies. And later, when the grower result became available, a second batch would be produced using information from growers on how many additional times are added. The second batch would then be made and shipped to the growers. In this case, although the action is said to be time-consuming process, the company will achieve the consumer satisfaction because eventually the supply and the demand will meet. The problem regarding to the leftover and unused stocks will be lessened. At the same time, the chosen action achieve organizations' establishments' objectives and deliver effective performance not only for the company but also to the consumers. And with that, this is their final application. This is the